Welcome back to a new episode of Mastering Programming. In today's episode, I'm going to be showing you how to do something that I personally have been wanting to do for a really long time, and that is creating a fully customizable product page. Now, this will include being able to customize the actual product page. It will include adding the product to the cart, showing the mini cart, being able to fetch the cart. Everything from A to Z we'll be able to do entirely using Velo, and it will be fully customizable. Now, currently, this is just a website that I created for these kind of tutorials, and you can see if I go ahead and click on this, you get your typical Wix sort of product page. Now, what we will do is we are going to add, so we're going to change this from, we're going to keep the color one, and we're going to also get custom text field option, just so that we can have more things to work with because realistically you have more products. And we're going to try to do all of this in one video, and we're going to try and make it as quick as we can. Now, the idea of this is not necessarily to focus as much as so many features inside. Like, this tutorial is designed to show you how you can just create a custom product page, and then maybe in the future I'll make more videos where we can jump into how to make, for example, a color picker like this and things like that. For now, we're just going to show how we can have our own page with our own code, but we're not going to get too fancy with like being able to get the exact same UI or how beautiful it is or whatever. We're just wanting to see basically if we can prove that we can make it on our own, and we can. So let's get started. Now, the first thing I'll do is I'll go to the editor. This is the website that I've got here, and this website currently has multiple different pages, but what we will do is we're going to go ahead to the existing product page. So let's have a look. Product page over there. It'll just take us a second, I guess. All right, amazing. Over here. And what I wanted to do, so basically this is how it currently looks like. But what we want to do is we want to be able to customize it. So what we can do is we can go ahead and click on CMS. And we're going to go to Wix app collections. We're going to go all the way down to where it says products over here. So this database, if I click on it, you'll see that it has a list of all the products available on Wix at the moment. Available on our website, sorry. There we go. And I'm just using the default sort of options that come with a Wix template. And we're going to go ahead and where is it? Yep, products over here. We're going to click on the three dots. I'm going to click on add blank dynamic page. There we go. And what that will do is that it will create a dynamic page for each single product item in our website automatically. Now, as you can see, if I go ahead and click on this, and let's just drag it, let's just actually increase the screen a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and I'm going to click on settings, and this is going to be a read-only dataset, so we're only going to be reading, and we're going to be showing the items from the products page. I'll show you how to do further things later on. Now what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and let's have a look at how this looks like. So if we just increase this a little bit, so you can see that we have the title on the right side, we've got an image, and we've got the options, quantity, and the add cart button. And for now, that's just what we're going to add, and the description, where I'm not going to bother adding like the different images at the bottom. There's videos for that, but this is just again to show you how we can create our own custom page. Now I'll go back, and I'm going to go ahead and find an image. So let's go and find an image. I'm going to click upload an image. And for now, maybe we can just use any available image that I have on my website already. Again, this is not anything fancy, it's just a proof of concept. And we're going to reduce the image to something like this. I want to make sure that the image, that the settings, if I go over here, I want to make sure that nothing happens when you click on it. And yeah, that would work out. Now, after we do this, we can go to this button over here where it says connect to CMS, and I'm going to click on it. And after that, I'm going to select that dataset, or it was actually already selected. So it's the products item. So this tells us that we can show an item from that database about the products. and it says image source connects to, and I'm going to scroll until it says main media. There we go. And now it's going to show the main media of the product. And let's go ahead, what else was there? So we've got the image, we've got the product and the SKU and the price and so on. And we can do that by grabbing text. So I'm going to select a heading and I'm going to be placing it just over here. Let's go ahead and duplicate that 3 times. It's actually much easier than expected at the beginning. Now this will be the product name, so I'm going again to click on this icon. I'm going to scroll until it says name. Over here, what I'll do is I'll have this as SKU like this, and we should probably reduce the font to maybe 20, and we can also reduce this like that. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to just paste it right in front of it, and I'm going to drag this all the way like this because I'm not too sure exactly how long the SKU will be. And let's go ahead and look for SKU. It's not the product ID. Yeah, this database has so many different elements, so it can be a little bit difficult sometimes to find what we want, such as now, I can't find it. Let's continue having a look, and I think I just hit the mic, so sorry about that. Oh, there we go, SKU. So we've got the product, the SKU, the price. So let's go ahead, and I think I might need to just increase this a little bit. For this one, again, let's change the size to make it a 20, and just for the plot, let's change it into like a greenish color. And again, we're gonna click on this, and you get sort of like understand what we're trying to do this whole time. And over here, let's change it to formatted price. So we want to show the normal price, so formatted price. There we go. Now let's just do a check and see if what we're doing actually is changing anything. Now I'm going to click on preview, and hopefully this loads an image. So it did, and it loaded the price, $85. It loaded the SKU, and it also added the name, which currently is just I am a product. So that's amazing. So I'm going to click back to editor. So that is actually the name of that product, I'm a product. And you can see that we can actually change it from here to any other product, because this is just a template. It has it numbered from 1 to like 10 or whatever, but we're gonna go ahead and change a few things. So now that we've got the name, SKU, the image, the price, what's left, we've got this picker. Now I'm not gonna go ahead and dive into how to create a picker, because that's like a color picker like that, because that's a whole video on its own. So I'm just gonna make a drop down menu. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to do this. In fact, we're actually not going to do colors at all. We're going to do size and maybe a custom text. And let's go ahead and get another input to just the text field. Okay. Where's the little one? Oh, I'm just going to trust. Yeah. No, that's not what I want. Okay. Oh, there we go. Amazing. So we've got these two over here. Now, what I'll do now is let's go ahead and add our own product, and we're going to make it. So first of all, let's just actually save this. And we're gonna add our own product. Yep, there we go. And I'm just gonna make it very simple just so that we know what we're working with. And hopefully we can get this video done in like maybe another 8 minutes. But I'm gonna go ahead and click on any of these. And we're gonna keep it very simple. We're gonna keep it the same. I'm just gonna add a name so that we know what we're working with. So I'm just gonna keep this like our product. And I'm gonna keep the ribbon. I'm gonna keep the description the same. I'm gonna keep everything else the same. The only thing that I want to do is I wanna add custom text. So the title should be, yeah, let's just keep it. What should we engrave? Character limit 500, whatever, that's fine. And let's add a product option, and it will be a list. And I'll actually do exactly like this. I want it to be, let's say the size, and I'll say, yeah, alright. Or actually, let's keep it large, medium. Yeah, large, small, medium. And I'm just going to remove the other ones. There we go. Add. So now this product has two things that we need to collect when we're adding it to the cart. This one only had the color, but this one will have different things. It will have the size that we need to provide, and it will also have text that we need to provide. So let's go ahead and do that. Now I'm going to save this. Our products were saved. It's right here. Let's go ahead and close this. And I might just need to refresh this. So again, I'm gonna save it, and then I'm gonna refresh the page, and then hopefully we have that element added. So let's go ahead and reset. Okay, great. So after refreshing the page, we can see that our product was added over here. And if I click on it, we now have our product, our image, SKU, price. And so now let's add the options. Now, if you remember, we added two different things. We added the size, which was small, medium, and large. And we also added, what else did we add? Custom text. So over here, what I'll do is I'll click settings, and let's give it a name. I'll say select your size, just like this. Again, we're not trying to make this like super fancy. We're just trying to make it work. There we go. And over here, let's just click settings, and I'm going to say enter your name, just like this. I don't want anything to be required, so I'm going to uncheck that, and I want that to uncheck as well, just for like debugging purposes. It's always easier if it's just not required. We're going to remove this, and again, it was small, medium, and large. So I'm gonna go ahead and save that so it has our options. Perfect. Now we're missing two more things, and then we can actually add this to the cart. Now we're missing the quantity text field, and we're also adding the add to cart and the description. So let's go ahead and do that now. Now I'm gonna go back, and I am going to actually just copy this, and I'm going to put it over here, and I'm going to click on settings. I want this to be a number. There we go. And I'm just going to type in QTN. There we go. You can put a maximum value or a minimum value, up to you, and just make sure that it is actually whole numbers. So we can leave that like this. Now I'm going to add a description, and then finally we can actually start working on adding this to the cart. So I'm gonna grab this, I'll place it over here. Let's add this all the way again. Now the reason I'm not going to be adding everything like the product info and stuff, because it will take time of us, and I guess you can already tell what we're doing. We're just adding elements, and we're connecting it to CMS to whichever element we want. So if you want to add it like the name, the weight, whatever, you just go ahead and select it. I'm going to just select description, and now there will be a description here. Now finally, the last thing that we need to do is add to cart button. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a button, and now we're gonna start writing some code. So I'm going to add this one, like this. And I'm going to change this to say add to button, just like that. Amazing. Cool. Now add to cart. Now there is something I want to let you know. So even if you write the code entirely like perfect, but you're missing out on providing a particular element, so let's say you provided the name and the size but not the quantity, or like vice versa, you will not for some reason gonna get any errors. You're just not going to add it to the cart. Amazing. So now we basically finished this part. Now I can go ahead and start by showing you the full way of adding to cart. But what I like to do first is I like to see how these products get presented in the cart, so I know what to provide. So to do this, I'm going to click on save. I'm going to click, I'm going to go to, I'm going to add an, yep, I'm going to click here and over here. And instead of adding to cart, for now, when this button is clicked, I just want it to print the current cart actually. So that's what I'll do. So let me show you how to do that. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove this line, and then we're going to be importing cart, and we're going to say from, and I'll say from Wix store front end, just like this. And inside our onReady, what I'll do is I'll remove this like that, and I'm going to click on this button, on click, button click, which means that anything inside of these two brackets will run or be executed once I actually run this code, once I click on this button. So inside of here we are going to say cart, and let me actually zoom in a little bit. Oh, I lost the code. We're going to say cart dot get current cart, open and close the bracket. We're going to say dot then, and we're opening another bracket. We'll say current cart. And then inside of here, we're going to be creating a cart ID, and we're also going to be creating a cart line items. And the cart line items just is going to be the thing that actually shows us what are the items in the cart and how they're presented. Again, the reason I want to do this is because I want to see how the carts get presented, how the products get presented, so I know what to provide when we click the add to cart button. So let's go ahead and create a constant, and we're going to say cart ID is equal to current cart dot ID, and then we say constant cart line items, and we'll say current cart dot line items. Now after that, just so that we can see how it is, I'm going to say console cart line items, console.log cart line items. Now obviously there is a chance an error or an issue will happen, so what we will do is we'll say dot catch, and I'll say error, and for now I just want to log the error, or I want to show what the error is. So I'll say log console error, and then we'll pass in the error. Amazing. So believe it or not, that's actually it in order to receive the cart and how that looks like. So what I'll do now is and that will be printed whenever we click add to cart. So what I'll do is I'm going to click on preview, and if we click on add to cart now, we shouldn't really get anything. This should be empty because we don't have any items. It says 0 over here. So what I'll do, let's go ahead and go to the shop. There we go. And I want to go to our product, this product. And what I want to do is, this is the default one, by the way. what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and select a size. So I'm going to select medium, and over here I'm going to say David, and for quantity we're going to say 2 and 12. Okay, and I'll click add to cart. Now you'll see that now this has been added to cart. Again, this is just a normal page, we didn't do this, but what's cool is that now we can click back to editor, and we can go to the custom product page, which is that one. And now if I preview this, and click add to cart, we should have an item. So we've got an item over here, and you can see that we've got the product details. So let me just increase this. You've got your price, which is 85, the quantity, which is 12, the total price, which is 1,200. But what I'm most interested in is we need to know what we're providing. So we're going to be providing the name, any notes, price, quantity, and the options. You can see that we've got the option, which is the size, and all that gets provided is medium. And you can see for title, what should we engrave? The value is David, which is what I entered. So again, we need to think about these things when we're passing things around. So now what I'll do is I'm gonna go ahead and click on back to editor, and I'm gonna open the code. I'm going to go over here, and we're going to comment out actually I just realized it might be a good idea if we actually save the JSON somewhere. So while this is loading, I'm going to say JSON formatter, and let's go back over here. So I'm going to click add to cart, and we get this, and what I'll do is I'll click copy JSON. We're going to go over here and paste it, and we're going to click format/beautify, and now we just have it like this so that we can always go back and remember how things were mentioned. Now I'm going to go back, and I'm going to click back to editor, and what I want to do is instead of just printing the cart, now we should probably actually add it to cart. So what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and actually remove this code, which might cause an issue here. So let's click on this again and delete this, and then click on it again, click enter, and now we have this area where we can write code. Now what I'll do here is I'll show you guys the code that we need in order to add it to cart. So all we need to do is, again, we already have the import cart from Wixstore's front end, so that works. And I'm just going to remove this because it's a bit distracting. But now what we need to do is we need to add some code here, and it's actually very easy to do. I was surprised with how easy this is. So the first thing is we need to first create a product or a number of products that we're going to be adding, and we are only going to be adding one product at a time because this is assuming there's one product on each page. So I'm going to say const products, and then everything inside of here, we're basically creating an object where what that product is. So what I'll need to do is I'll need to first get the product ID. So I'll say product ID, and I'm gonna leave it as a string, and inside of here I'll say quantity, and I'll say it's equal to 1. After that, we have a few different things. So we've got one choice or one option. So I'm going to say options like this, and that will be its own object because it can have multiple choices. And I'll say choices, and inside of here I'm going to say size, and then I will say, and we're basically just copying this. So options, we've got size, and selection should be medium. So let's have a look at how to do that. So I guess we can come here and we can say something like selection, and for now I'm just gonna keep leaving it as a string, but we're going to be changing that at some point. There we go. So we're gonna go out of the choices option. And we are going to say custom text field. We're going to open a squared bracket, and inside of here a zigzaggy bracket. Here we're going to have the title, and we're going to be having the value. Again, we're going to be filling all this stuff in just a second. So now after we have this, what we're going to do is, let's see where this ends. We're going to go over here, and we're going to use the car object. So this is going to be car dot add products, and we're going to pass in that products object that we created, sorry. So I'll say products, and then we'll say dot then, and I'll say updated car. We are getting an issue here, but we can fix it at some point. Here we're going to say again const car id is equal to updated car dot id, and then we're going to say const car line items is equal to updated car dot line items. Just how we had an issue with the other one, we can catch it over here. So I'll say dot catch error, and then inside of here we can say console dot log dot console dot error, and inside of here we're going to be printing the error. Now, believe it or not, that's actually all we need at the moment, but there's a few things that I want to fix. First of all, I don't know why this is giving me some issue, so let's quickly have a look. Choices, size, string selection. So what we can do is, in order to get the product ID, is actually very simple. So all it does is we can simply do, we can come over here and we can create const current product, and we can basically refer to this dynamic set. So all I'll do is $w bracket, and then inside of here hashtag dynamic dataset. Over here I'll say dot get current item, and then we're going to say const current product id is equal to current product dot id. There we go. So, or actually, sorry, this one should probably be product id. There we go. Now I'm gonna go ahead over here and I will say current product ID like this. For quantity, what we can do is we can go ahead and provide the number from here. So what I'll do first though is I'll wrap this in a string. So I'll say string, and then I'll say $, hashtag input 2 like this. Now for the options, and then we've got choices. For the size over here, we can say something like the option that they select. So what I'll do is I'll say $, bracket, and I will say drop down 1. So drop down 1 dot value, and I think this should have been just like this, and we can actually go ahead and remove this. There we go. Now for the custom field for the title, so what is our title? Remember, if we have a look here, this was size, and then custom text field title was what should we engrave. So I'm just going to do the exact same thing. I'm just going to copy this. What should we engrave? And the value is going to be the value of this input. So I'm going to say $, bracket, hashtag, and I'll say input 1. And over here I will say value, just like this. Now technically this should work, but we are getting an error here for some reason. So what I'll do is I'm gonna go ahead and actually run this, and let's see why it's not working. So first of all, we actually need to go to our specific product. So let's go ahead and go to our product. There we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and select the size. I'm going to put David. For quantity, I'm going to put 1. So this is already at 12. And if I click on add to cart, invalid product ID should be GUID. Okay, so it's saying that there is an invalid product ID. So I'm interested, and this worked, by the way. I'm interested to see what product ID we're getting. So let's do console.log, and we'll say current product ID. And I'll do the same thing, quantity 3. Let's open this, maybe not to that extreme, and I'll click on add product, and it says invalid product ID, and that's because the product ID is actually undefined. Okay, so for some reason it can't find the product ID, which is very odd. Let's go ahead and see why. Maybe I just needed to publish this. So let's open this actual data set and see where the product ID is. I just wanted to check that we're not actually doing anything wrong. Okay, so our product, it's over here. Inventory item, numeric ID, item. Okay, so there shouldn't be any issue. I mean, we've got product ID over here, so I'm not too sure why it's not working. But what we can do is, let's go ahead and print the entire current product and see what happens. So I'm going to click on preview. And I'm just going to click on add product, and let's see. So first of all, the product ID over here, DF19. So DF19. All right. So it's actually just called ID, not product ID. So let's go ahead and change that. So I'm going to click on back to editor, and over here we can just say dot underscore ID like this. Now let's go ahead and preview this. I think this might work. So my size, medium, name, David, quantity 3, add to cart. We're still getting an issue. Invalid quantity should be greater than 0. It definitely is greater than 0. Let's clear this and let me run this again. So add to cart. Alright, so for some reason the quantity number is not being received as 3. So let's go ahead and see why. So I'm going to click and back to editor. Where is our quantity? Okay, so I was placing it as a string, but I guess maybe they don't want it as a string. Oh, sorry, this is meant to be dot value. There we go. So let's go ahead and preview this, and maybe this will work. Again, large David here, let's just put 3, add to cart, please just work, and it didn't. Invalid quantity should be greater than 0. Okay, that is so weird. Alright, there is, oh, I know what it is. I've been providing it as a string this whole time, but it's actually meant to be an integer, whatever, and that's why we're having an issue. So let me place it as a number, and now there is no issue. That was the mistake this whole time. So let's preview this. Now select large, enter your name, David, quantity 3, add to cart, and oh, woo! Amazing. So you can see that it went to 15 instead of 12. Let's do this again, add it, and I don't know if it will, yep, 18. Amazing. So we're actually adding items back, thank God. Now this is how to add it to cart. Let me show you one quick thing, which is how to now show the mini cart, that little mini cart that pops up. So I'm gonna show you how to do that right now. Now it's actually very easy, and let me show you. So show mini cart. Now what we can do in order to do this is, again, we're going to be adding one more element at the top. We're going to say import, and I'll say form factor, and I'll say from, and I'll say Wix window front end, just like this. Now let's obviously say, now assuming that we've done everything, so we can do this here. So once it's passed, after the line items over here, we can say something like cart dot show mini cart, like this. Awesome. Now what I'll do is I'm actually gonna go ahead and publish, and we're going to preview this. Now you can see that we've got 18 products over here. So let's go ahead and add one more, and I'll say David. Here I'm going to say 1. So technically once I click add to cart, this should go to 19 and we should get the mini cart. So I'm going to click add to cart, please work. Amazing. Woo! And you get the mini cart added over here. Let me just move this somewhere. It's not going, but okay. And again, I'll click add. Let's add one more, and once it does add it, this goes 20, and you can see it over here. Now we finally did it. This video took me so long to achieve, so please make sure you do subscribe and like it actually took me such a long time. I was going between like documents so much, and for some reason annoying things went wrong. So please support me by actually liking and commenting on this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know if you need anything else. Let me know in the comments any feedback that I can use to improve and do better. Hope to see you guys in the next episode.